Hello everyone, this is John again, and it's been 2 years since I've got my Niro plug-in hybrid, and I decided to put another video together to show the status we've had so far. Right now the battery, when I charge it to 100%, is giving me a 24-mile range rather than 26, where last year I was getting 24 every once in a while, but mostly 26. So about 11,000 miles of usage, probably 2/3 of that pure electric. I've lost about 2 miles of range in the highway. My city range is now down to 33.5 miles or 55.5 kilometers on a full charge. The highway range dropped from 26 down to 24 miles this year, or 38.6 kilometers. Over the winter time, because of the pandemic, I didn't do too much driving, and my winter gasoline usage was for 1,348.2 miles or 2,169 kilometers. I used 15 gallons of gas or 57 liters, and that was primarily for heating the car. It gets kind of cold here in the wintertime. This year wasn't quite as bad, but it has been bad in January, February time frame. The miles per gallon doesn't mean anything because that doesn't take into account the electric usage, and of course I did not record that, so I can't really give a good idea as to what the energy usage is during the winter time. I have had one problem with the car, and it was my own fault. Because of the pandemic, I haven't been driving that much, so I delayed changing the oil, and I got an error code to pop up that complained about the engine control system, and looking online, the status was either trivial or rather major. The trivial part was if the oil gets too old, it gets too viscous, and it can blow by some seals and get into some sensors, and that's what happened. So replaced the oil, cleared the computer, and no problems since then. Another thing I discovered is right here, the radar sensor that's used for determining the distance between you and the car in front of you. When it gets slushy, it basically doesn't work anymore, which is no big surprise because water and radar don't mix. What I did find is that when it was slushy snowing, I got a nice about half a centimeter or maybe a quarter centimeter buildup on there, and then it tripped a signal inside the car saying that it wasn't working anymore. I stopped, cleared it off, but the sensor never cleared, and what I had to do was actually turn off the car, turn on the car, and then everything was fine.